On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we're back with my insanely rare electric Geo Metro. And today, we're gonna work on it a little bit and see if we can figure out why a lot of it is broken. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and like I said, I'm here with my 1996 Solectria Force, which is actually an EV converted Geo Metro. A factory EV conversion, you could actually buy these things. So in the last video, we talked about this car. If you want to see the history of it or how incredibly rare it is, jump back to that video. Today, we are gonna go under the hood. Here we go. So I already had it open a little bit there. And our problems with this car are, we mentioned one of them in yesterday's video, the AC compressor. It sounds really, really, really bad. It sounds like it's out of oil. And there's no brake boost. It's kind of funny, the power brake boost was an option. Obviously AC was an option. This was a $3,000 option. A motor, a compressor, and a belt. I mean, there's a few more things. There's a fan and a condenser, but that was a $3,000 option. This car has it. And then it also has the power brake booster. And as you know from us driving it yesterday and talking about it, the brake booster didn't work. So today we're gonna try to troubleshoot that. I don't think I've ever heard a brake booster turn on. Obviously it must have an electric pump somewhere, and that electric pump must connect to, I'm assuming, this big vacuum reservoir right there. And somehow that makes the power brakes work. So we need to figure out where this pump is. Right now there's wires going into this, and I'm guessing these wires, maybe there's a pump that they put inside the reservoir. I don't think so. It must have control or something like that. I'm not quite sure how on earth this works, but something here and all of these vacuum lines connects to the brake booster, and that's our game plan. We're gonna figure that out and see why there's no brake boost. Now 100% Jake is here with me, and we're gonna have a look around this thing and see what we can find. And first, I still don't understand how there's just wires going into the vacuum reservoir.
I wonder if that's like a pressure sensor in there.
See, and I also wondered that, but there's like a micro switch down there, if you see where that red wire connects, and maybe that is the pressure switch. I'm not sure. All I know is let's find the key and turn this thing on. Key found. And see what happens. All right, I'm gonna turn this on, and Jake can be up front so he can listen for noises other than the motor controller turning on.
Oh.
What's up?
Oh, it's behind the headlight. I think it's that.
It's totally making that noise.
That is noisy.
That's a vacuum pump. Well, the motor works.
Oh.
That won't work.
That's pushing, that's pressure.
Yeah, air is coming out of this.
That's weird.
There's a second hose. Let me get some light in here. Yes. Wow, it's on a custom bracket. Oh, the fans on the motor controller aren't even on. I thought all this noise was the motor controller.
Oh.
But it's definitely this vacuum pump here. So, oh, that one's vacuum.
Okay.
All right, well, now we just need to figure this out. Right here under the core support, there's clearly a T, and it's funny because they wrapped all this vacuum hose in split loom tubing, which is, it seems cool, but it's also really annoying.
That's a nightmare for diagnosing.
Yeah, we gotta like open up all the split loom. Let me hook this back up. We're making good progress so far. We already found the pump.
Yeah, and the noise of the pump changing when you plug it in, it's pulling vacuum on something, it seems like.
I agree, but it's also a really tiny hose. If you look over here on the booster, it bumps up to a giant hose right in front of it. Oh, let's just pull the clip off of here.
Yeah, let's see if there's any vacuum making that for.
All right, we got in. Did you hear it just change?
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, no, that's worthless.
It's not, nothing's
Like, it's clearly connected, but it's really bad.
Oh yeah, that's not vacuum.
That's a joke. We need a way to just bypass this. Let me try to hook some hose between them real quick. Maybe it's just a bad hose, which would be awesome.
That would be ideal.
I got hose.
Look at Mr. Prepared over here. We don't even have to make a trip to O'Reilly's.
Usually I would make a trip to O'Reilly's. This is a bigger diameter, and I think it'll be easier to get on there. The vacuum adventure continues. So we have the diameter that fits the pump, the larger diameter that will sort of fit on the brake booster there. And we'll just throw them into a T that gets me close. Maybe. Do we have a brake booster now? All right, it's on there. Let's go find out. If this is all it took to have power brakes, I'm gonna be so excited. Nothing, dude.
It's definitely changing the sound of the pump.
You can hear the pump sound. You know, you can almost feel in the pedal, the longer you hold it down, if you hold it down for like 3 seconds, it starts to kind of pull down, but not enough.
So maybe it's just because it doesn't have the reservoir.
Does it really need that giant reservoir?
Okay, I guess the next thing we need to do
Is troubleshoot this reservoir and figure out what's going on with that. So maybe we unhook the T right here. It's literally right there, and hook it up to the pump and see if the reservoir is leaking. If it keeps vacuuming down or if it leaks. Oh, you know, we can just hook the Mighty Vac up to it like smart people. This is dumb. Why are we troubleshooting correctly? Nothing I hate more. It holds.
That seems correct-ish.
Let's
Pump it way up and then I'll go push
Yeah,
it right.
that's my game plan here is we'll put
How
about
much vacuum do you figure?
all of it. 5 inches of mercury. All of it, dude.
Still rock hard.
Shouldn't it lose vacuum as this happens?
I honestly don't know.
When you push in, the vacuum goes to 0, and when you let off, it does slowly lose vacuum, but I think it should lose all of its vacuum quickly. I think there's like a vent, and it should take all the vacuum and then vent that to atmosphere as you let off. And then it, you know, uses more vacuum on the other side of the diaphragm. But what else would it do with it? Why would it need a constant supply otherwise, you know? I was definitely planning on just testing each part individually, but let's test it all at once. Wow, that thing won't go back on. We've connected our testing hose here to our much longer hose. And we're gonna try to force that onto the Mighty Vac here. And then we'll pull a vacuum on the whole system and check for leaks. So, she's all hooked up. Leak test. It does not hold any vacuum. Oh, that's crusty. Cool, we'll just cut all this. This is actually, it's pretty well wrapped, I gotta say.
Yeah.
They really went in on this. Oh, wow. It's a continuous piece of split loom. They really did go in on this. Okay.
Shockingly, the T hasn't broken apart.
Where does this wire go? And why is there a wire that goes there too? Why are there wires? Okay, now we can test our brake booster. Oh, the hose isn't bad. Let's make sure we can hold that vacuum. Holds well enough.
Yeah.
Same as we were seeing before from our test right on the booster. I'm gonna pump it way up. But I definitely think that we're dealing with a reservoir issue here.
Oh, good.
Luckily, I think that's the GM truck reservoir. So O'Reilly's probably has it. All right, we'll let that sit. It's holding 10 inches of mercury.
You should definitely go to O'Reilly's and ask for a...
Solectria Force parts. Hey, what do you guys have for my Force 1996? That's in your book, right?
Still.
I'd say that's a great test. It's been there for 30 seconds. That's more than enough. 30 seconds is a long time in this.
30 seconds is enough for anyone.
All right, reservoir side. Can we win? The reservoir is trash.
Yeah, 0 out of 10.
New test. What if we hook our test line here directly up to the vacuum pump and then go turn on the car, so we're using the pump to provide boost, And I'm gonna go ahead and put the clamp back on the brake booster there. And maybe we just don't understand. Like maybe it needs to keep adding more vacuum as the brakes move in order to have boost.
No, not really.
The pump sound is really changing.
I mean, you can give it a feel. I am able to push it down a little bit farther, but it's still rock hard.
It's possible because of the carbon ceramic racing brakes that this is equipped with, that the pedal is typically...
We just got that rock hard brake.
Yeah, we just have the best brakes in the world and we didn't realize. That's our bad. It's not better at all, is it?
It really doesn't seem like it. I'm realizing that I don't understand as much about brakes as I thought I might.
Yeah, maybe we don't know how brake boosters work, but my assumption would be if you're adding vacuum as the diaphragm sucks the thing, you know, down, then it should be perfect. And we're definitely doing that because we've got vacuum now.
Yeah, it should boost the brakes. You know what the other test would be?
What?
Get a hose that size and plumb it into another car's engine.
I thought about pulling another car in here and hooking it up because that would really answer all of our questions. I was like, another car is the best way to test it. It could be a bad booster. Oh, is it because it's not hooked up? That could be why.
I might do it. Where did it go though?
It's right here. I wonder if somebody worked on it and pulled that out. All right, let's test it. That's easy enough.
Sounds like the line's good.
It does seem like the line's good. The other thing I'm gonna say is it seems like the line is severely undersized because it should be this hose.
Yeah.
Why on earth is it this cute little hose? Okay. Make me some vacuum, girl. This should honestly be one of the GM automotive pumps, the one that Volvo and GM uses, the little, it's 1,000 times more pump than this. I wish we had the pressure gauge on the T.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens. Have we repaired it by plugging in the rest of it?
It could be.
It could be a bad booster.
I mean, the brakes might also just suck.
The brakes could be terrible. If you saw the fluid, I haven't opened it, but it's black.
Yeah.
Crazy. What? It has a time. Oh!
The sensor works now.
It has a vacuum switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's. So it really sounds like it should be working.
It does sound like, and you hear every time I pump it.
Yeah, it goes. Whoosh.
And it doesn't feel that bad. But honestly, the brakes are terrible.
I mean, they might. That might be working as intended.
Maybe we just fixed it and it's as bad as
we just have way too high hopes for the brakes on this thing.
I mean, I've driven I had a 96 Metro.
Right.
And it was so much better than this. It drove better in every way.
Yeah, it did have a whole gas engine for the brakes.
Yeah, you could tell that car weighed less, which, I mean, you really start to tell when the car weighs nothing.
Yeah.
And the brakes were fine. Like, excellent power brakes. It should shut off here in a second. As soon as this shuts off, hey, there we go. Will you turn on the AC so we can hear the racket and see the magic? I'm excited. I don't know if we can fix this one tonight. This one's complicated. That's a noise, man.
That's a bad compressor if ever I heard one.
That is terrible. All right, well, let's look up this compressor real quick. 420. Nice. 88. Oh, it's so expensive. I hope O'Reilly's has something like this. Let's look at it. Oh, that's totally the correct compressor.
Yeah.
2 lines on top, suction and discharge, and this one has an electric clutch, but it looks like the clutch bolts on, right? We got, it looks like 3 bolts right there. And then it looks like they just unbolted the clutch with these 3 bolts and slapped on this solid drive gear. Well, that's an easy one to fix. We just need to replace it.
Yeah.
At least it's also like a $10 belt, and it's a Gates. Nice.
Yeah. I wonder what the intended application for that compressor is.
Oh, we need to test the motor. Let's crack this loose, and then pull tension off the belt, and we'll get that off there. I think it's a 13. It's a 14. These guys were messing with me, weren't they? Gosh. Okay. See if it'll... Now if I give it a twist or two, it's coming off. This belt alignment must be completely controlled by how tight and how many spaces are in this, because there's nothing else keeps it on, you know? All right, we've got our belt off.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh no! The compressor might be fine. It works too, like the air is cold. I've tried the compressor out. All right, fire it up for me. This is a very, very bad outcome. I don't know if I can replace this. It sounds horrible. And the noise sounds like it's coming from...
Sounds like the bearings are shot.
Yeah,
Oh yeah!
the bearings are shot.
I wonder if the bearing was just an off-the-shelf part.
Wow. That is terrible.
That's impressive.
At least I don't have to buy a $300 compressor, but I'm not sure I want to know what a 1 horsepower DC motor costs. That might be very bad. At least I can put the brakes back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where you can get a 1 horsepower AC motor going on my mini bike.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an AC motor, but I'm pretty sure it's DC.
Probably.
It looks like a DC motor if I've ever seen one. DC 20 to 156. Okay, we're gonna try to figure out what this motor is, if it's AC or DC. I went ahead and unplugged it. It's that little connector right down there with the meter leads in it. And Jake, hit the AC whenever you want. Okay, going DC. Turn it back on. Negative 166. Oh, shut it off. What was that?
I heard some sparkling.
I thought so, but it sounded like it was coming out of the fan. Didn't sound good.
Not ideal.
Luckily, you shut it off fast.
I wonder if something got messed up from it not having a load on it.
There's a good chance. And the fan sounded stronger than I've ever heard. So I'm going to hook this back up, and let's make sure we're good. That's a DC motor, like I thought. Let me hook it up.
Dad might know about that.
Yeah, we should just send it over to Dad. Hey, you want to rebuild this motor? He'll be like, yeah, I'll press in the bearing. That's all it needed. That's probably all it needs.
Yeah.
They labeled this with red, so you know that it's very hot.
Nice.
One piece of electrical tape. Safe! We're safe. We're safe. All right, let's turn it on. All right, shut her down. It very much looks like that front plate can come off, and maybe the bearing can come off, and that would be amazing.
You gotta put some like Abex 7s in there.
Yes. The good old skateboard bearings.
Like all the cool skateboard
They
kids have.
fix it all every time. But honestly, if it's just a bearing, it's probably $15, and
Yeah.
I really didn't want to spend that much money on a compressor, especially in the middle of winter.
$15?
No, $250. Well, we troubleshot all of the problems, I think.
Is that the past tense?
Let's see what else. It needs aligned. The steering wheel's way off. So I was going to buy tie rod ends at O'Reilly's because obviously they have them. And what else does it need? I'm going to look around real quick at the rest of the suspension. Every time I see this wheel, it looks like it's out a little bit too. Don't you see that? See the angle? It seems like it's off. Yeah, there's a reason that it's off.
Really?
Yep. Here, come look.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that arm right there. The other one's perfectly straight. And this one has a big bend coming out.
That's fun. You can
Honestly, it looks like you could just smash that back. Because
Yeah.
it's just stamped steel.
yeah.
I bet that wheel's steering a little bit too.
Yeah, that's a tow arm.
Another problem! Well, the electric car has so many problems. Unbelievable amount of problems.
I was told electric cars don't need maintenance.
Well, they don't. We just got
I'm so confused.
we just got the one that did. Well, I thought today would have some victories. I was sure we could get the brakes figured out. But unfortunately, the brakes are fixed, but they just don't work very well. I don't know. I really do think the best test would be running engine vacuum off of another car to see if the booster should do more work. It's also the smallest booster. That booster is like 6 inches. So I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And of course, now we have the AC problem solved. I just have to pull the motor out and probably go get bearings, get it rebuilt, or buy a motor. I'm gonna go see what Google says for what a 1 horsepower DC motor costs. Anyway, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts just like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. And it's got other problems, like the radio, it doesn't get great reception, and the antenna's ugly. And there's so many, if a headliner, it could use a headliner. These are like the simplest problems. I
Yeah,
love
it's
this.
all unfixable. Might as well throw the whole car away.
I love this car.
The antenna's ugly. Just
Yeah. Look how bent up it is. How do you bend an antenna that much?
hit stuff.
It's got like 15 different bends to it.